Hello, I'm John Lopez, Project Director of the PAEA Medication Assisted Treatment Initiative. The initiative is funded through a State Targeted Response Technical Assistance Grant to the American Academy of Addiction Psychiatrists. The initiative has two main goals. One is to have all PA students trained to apply for the medication-assisted treatment data waiver to prescribe buprenorphine for office-based opioid treatment by the time they graduate. And secondly, to have them apply for and receive a National Provider Identifier number. This number, when provided to the programs and PAEA, will allow us to track outcomes to make sure that this grant initiative is successful. The NPI, National Provider Identifier, is required for all health professionals under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA. This is part of the administrative simplification provisions. You'll have to have one of these in order to practice once you graduate. So applying for one now and identifying yourself as a student will make you one step closer to being able to practice when you're done. You can always change your status once you're graduated. Now, in order to apply for an NPI, navigate your way to the National Plan and Provider Enumerator System website at the link or URL shown on the screen, nppes.cms.hhs.gov/nppes. The page will have actually two sections. One is for folks who already registered. That is, perhaps in your previous career you did have an NPI as a health professional. If you do have a user ID or password, you can sign in and then use the following instructions to edit your information, such as your address, other contact information, and your taxonomy, which would need to be changed to health professions student. And further on in this tutorial, you'll see how to do that. If you don't have an NPI right now or an account with NPPES, you can use the other section on the home page and click Create or Manage an Account bar, and that will cause that little window at the bottom there to pop up telling you that you're leaving the NPPES website. Go ahead and click OK. The next thing that'll pop up is a Terms and Conditions box for the Identity and Access Management System. Go ahead and review those terms and conditions and click Accept. If you hit Decline, the window will close and you won't be able to go any further and you won't be able to get an NPI. Once you hit Accept, you'll be taken to the Identity and Access Management System homepage. Again, if you have an account, you can sign in using your user ID or password. It should be noted that you have 3 attempts to sign in. After the 3rd attempt, your account will be deactivated. In that instance, you will need to call the NPI enumerator at 1-800-465-3202 for assistance. If you don't have an account, click on the Create Account Now bar. Here on the user registration page, go ahead and fill in an email address. Make sure it's one that you monitor regularly, as they may be sending you information regarding your NPI to that email. Enter the information shown in the little box underneath the email address and then hit Submit. Now, if you can't read the text in the little box, you can try clicking the little circular arrow icon, and that will give you a different set of figures. Otherwise, you can hit Listen to Audio and the figures will be read to you. You need to input them exactly as shown in the box. Once you hit Submit, you'll be taken to the user security page to input more information. You will need to put in a user ID and a password. Again, following the instructions shown on the screen, there are some requirements regarding the user ID as well as the password, and you have to meet all of those requirements in order for your user ID and password to be accepted. Once you've done that, you will need to select and answer 5 different security questions. Now, you can't pick the same question in each box or provide the same answer for each of the questions. The questions and answers all have to be unique. Once you've done that, hit Continue, and you'll be taken to the user information page. The information noted with the red dots are required, so you have to put something in the box. Make sure that the address that you put in there is one where somebody is there to receive your mail. likely you'd want to put in your permanent home address where somebody would be available to receive your mail and let you know that something from the government showed up. Once all of that is input, hit continue. The program will standardize your email address in order to meet Postal Service standards. If the address is not correct, then you can go back and modify it. Otherwise, we recommend that you just use the standardized address, hit the radio button, and then hit continued. This then completes your account registration, and you can hit continue to home page, which will take you back to the Identity and Access Management page where you can proceed to enroll or register for an NPI. You are an individual provider, so under the question, are you an individual provider, just click on the Register for an NPI link, and that will take you to the NPPS homepage again, where you can now sign in with your newly created user ID and password. Once you sign in, you will be taken to the National Provider System main page. On the left there, under Individual Provider, you will be applying for an NPI for yourself. This would be for a Type 1 Individual Provider NPI. So click on the blue bar that says Apply for an NPI for myself, and you will be taken to the provider profile. This information will be pre-populated with the information that you provided when you registered for your user ID and password. Go ahead and review it to make sure that it's accurate. Again, noting that the items indicated by the red dots are required. So you can see there's not a lot of information that you actually have to put in there. Now you will be inputting your date of birth and social security number along with where you were born. Now the green lock indicates that this information will not be available to the public. The primary language and secondary language, as well as the demographic information, is optional. So you can fill that out if you want, but you don't have to. They are right above the demographic information box. The question is the proprietor, a sole proprietor. You can just go ahead and click yes or no. I would just go ahead and click yes because you are an individual. Down at the bottom of the page will be a next button, and if you click next, you will be taken to the address button, address page. The business mailing address information is an address where the NPI enumerator may send information regarding your NPI number through the regular mail. Again, just provide a mailing address where somebody will be checking the mail on a regular basis and will be able to let you know if something from the Center for Medicaid Services or the NPI enumerator arrives for you. It's unlikely that you will be in a foreign country at this time or at a military address. Even if you're in the military PA program, you're in Texas. So just go ahead and ignore those two boxes there at the top. Once you've filled in your mailing address, hit next, and that will take you to the business practice location address information. Since you're not in practice now, just go ahead and check the same as business mailing address, and that will populate the form automatically. Again, provide a phone number that is monitored regularly and that somebody will answer, or at least check messages on for the enumerator to have available. Once this is completed, click next, and this will take you to the other identifiers page. Now this is optional information, and again, some of you may have been a healthcare provider in another profession and may have licenses or insurance numbers or things like that. You can put those in there if you like, but again, this is optional, so you can just go ahead and bypass this page. This will take you onto the taxonomy page. The taxonomy is a code that indicates your primary profession. If you already have a NPI and you're now editing your information, you will see a page that has a taxonomy number, perhaps a license number and things already populated. You can go ahead and click on the edit and change the taxonomy to student, and we'll show you that here in a little bit. Anyway, so go ahead and click Choose Taxonomy and click the down arrow in that box, and that will open up a window. And if you scroll all the way down in that window, second to the bottom, it says Student in an Organized Healthcare Education Program. So go ahead and highlight that, and that will then show up in your taxonomy, student in an organized healthcare education or training program. Once that's in the box, go ahead and hit save, and then that will bring up the taxonomy page. And again, if you already have a taxonomy in the system because you were a prior healthcare provider, that will show up in here, and you can delete it if you want, or you can change the primary taxonomy by clicking the radio button that indicates which of those, student or some other profession, is your primary taxonomy. And so in this instance, you want to select student. Next up, once you finish that, is the contact information page. And you'll notice that there are buttons that allow you to go back and forth between the pages. Now, don't use the back button on your browser to do that, as it may cause you to lose your information. Also, you'll note save and return to main page, and this will allow you to stop inputting information and return at a later date to complete this. The contact person is the person who will be contacted if there are any questions regarding your NPI application. This is the person who will be notified of your NPI assignment via email at the email address provided on this page. So in this instance, you can just put your own information in here. Now you can just click the check mark the box that contact person is same as myself, and the software will pre-populate this with your information. Again, make sure that the telephone number, email, and are emails and phone numbers that somebody monitors regularly, so that if you are contacted, you won't miss the contact and have a problem with delayed responses to your assignment of an NPI. Once you've done that, click Next, and that'll take you to an error check page. Now, you'll see that each of the steps is listed there in the box, and if there are any errors, it will tell you that there are errors, and it will allow you to resolve each error prior to submitting your application. So again, you can review the information on each page, and once everything is correct, go ahead and hit Next. And this was your NPI, the submission certification page. You're required to accept the following statements before submitting the application. Now, the page you'll see might look a little different from this. This is an older image, but just go ahead and check the box that indicates that you certify that you have read the contents and authorized the enumerator to verify the information, and go ahead and hit submit. Again, this page might look a little different, but this is the certification page that has your submission confirmation number and a tracking number. Make sure that you print this page as is indicated, or somehow save that information. The tracking number is what you'll need if you have to contact the NPI enumerator if you have questions about your application. You should receive your NPI within 15 working days, and an email will be sent to the contact person that you listed in the application. So once you have your NPI, we'd ask that you provide that to your program. Again, it allows them to track you for making sure that they're meeting their goals, objectives, and mission for the program, and will also allow us to verify how well we succeeded in our goal of getting everybody waiver trained for MAT buprenorphine waivers. Thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, you can contact me at the PAEA. My email and phone number are on the MAT waiver training page on the PAEA website, and have a good day.